What's going on, everybody? It's Monkey Farm. We're back with some more ARK Survival Evolved. We are going to do a quick tutorial for you today. I'm going to show you how to get your treehouse flooring flush with the treehouse platform. As you can see to my right, or your left, my right, these foundations are pretty flush with the treehouse platform, and to the left is how they would normally look if you had just placed them on top of it. Now, since treehouse, these platforms only have a couple snap points on these redwood trees, you want to have as much space as possible to build on, and obviously it looks a lot better when you don't have a lot of wasted space and the foundations are very close to the floor. I did it in stone first. I'm actually going to replace these with the metal and glass. We're here on the Pooping Evolved Season 2 modded server, but you can do this in vanilla too, don't worry. I just happen to be on this server because we are here on the island with the new Redwood Forest. So I'm going to show you how to do this. By the way, I got to give a couple shout outs. So the guy who figured out how to angle all of these so that you can build like an octagon, or wait, it's not an octagon, it's more however many sides this treehouse platform has. It's like 10 or 12 or something like that. Anyway, the guy who figured that out was T Ranger. So I'll have the links in the description to the video he did of how to kind of like connect these together on the platform so that each little section of the platform you can build walls and they will all meet up nicely together, so you can have like a nice little building inside here. And the other guy I want to give a little shout out to, I saw a guy who was building a boat and his name was X1Wing X, and he had built the foundations flush with the boat floor, kind of like flush with the water like this, and that's kind of where I got the idea to try this on the treehouse platform, and it worked. So I'm super excited because look at all this extra space that we have. Every foot matters. All right, I'm going to tear out these foundations here, and I'll show you from scratch how to do this. Now, by the way, if you're doing this on a treehouse platform, be very, very careful that you don't accidentally demolish your treehouse platform, because these are very expensive, obviously, and you don't want to do that because, yeah, anyway, you'll fall to the ground too. So as T Ranger had showed us, you want to get right in the center here and make this thing kind of flush with this little line going around the treehouse. All right, so you want to get that right in the middle. Now, to get these things lower, to get these foundations lower, the trick is to put a pillar on here. Now, what's going to happen is see how that foundation is lower? These foundations are going to start snapping to the pillars instead of the foundation that's next to them. So we're going to have to do this a bunch of times. Now, you may want to try this with wood. I don't know if it works with wood. I assume it does, but we're here on modded, so stuff is cheap, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so you want to break everything over here, then you want to put the pillar into the center of the lowered foundation, and then I'll wait for these things to kind of disappear for you. But as you can see, now this foundation is snapping to that pillar rather than this foundation, and it's a little bit lower. So you have to do this like I think 5 or 6 times before it gets like low to the ground where you can't build it any lower. But you do that a bunch of times, and then eventually they will be very close to the floor like this. Now, if you happen to be on a modded server and you're using the no-clip mod, you can actually build it lower than this. Like, you could build one more level lower and it's like really flush with the floor. The problem is that you can't break them after that, and you'll end up breaking the treehouse platform. The reason I know that is because I did it. And yeah, I wasted a lot of metal, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. So anyway, let's see. That one is the lower one. So I go like break this pillar and demolish this, and get the pillar, the new pillar over here. And see that one. Oh, that one didn't. It's tricky sometimes. Sometimes it's actually hard to get it lower. Sometimes it kind of wiggles back and kind of tricks you. Like, see how now it like doesn't really want to go lower. There we go. Okay, now finally you'll get to a point where you can't build any lower. I'm going to try to place this for you just to show you, and it'll show up red. Like I said, you can use the no-clip mod to make this work, but then you have a much greater risk of having to break the treehouse platform if you need to break one of the foundations. Otherwise, you won't be able to get a hold of it, and maybe you could go underneath it or something and try, but I don't know. It's not worth the effort. I think this is low enough for what we want to do. So now I don't need this pillar here. All right, now that we've got this thing built as low as it can go officially, I'm going to snap a nice glass and metal one to this. So it's going to be nice and clear. We're still going to be able to see the treehouse flooring on this thing, but it's going to look a lot nicer, and we're going to be able to build on top of it. So let's see. I think this is snapping next to it. It's going to break the stone one. So that thing should be nice and centered. Yeah, my angle's a little bit off. So what's going to happen is when I do that over here on this one, what's going to happen is they're going to overlap a little bit incorrectly. I'm a little encumbered right now, and I'll show you what happens. If you don't line it up correctly, what'll happen is your angles might meet a little bit off. So then let's say you wanted to snap a wall here. I'll just break these walls after I do this, but so if I snapped a couple walls here, they're not going to meet up, and it's not going to be as nice as you'd like it. So be really, careful to try to get it correct. But anyway, so I am going to be doing the glass and metal. This is a mod, but it's the equivalent of, I guess, metal foundations in vanilla. But then what you do, as what was his name, T-Ranger had said, you build these to the side, and then each time you do this, they will kind of overlap and connect, like they did over here. I wish I could run. And they'll just overlap nice and smoothly right here. And that way you can build a whole building that's all enclosed, and it's nice, and you'll have a flooring that you can build on. And you won't have all this weird stuff to walk all over, and it'll be nice. You can place all your stuff and build your super cool treehouse. So that is the beginning of my treehouse. It's a little bit crooked. I don't know how you guys let me do that. But anyway, I hope you guys like that little trick. I thought it was super cool. So once again, shout out to T-Ranger and X1WingX who actually figured out how to make foundations lower on the rafts. So I thought it was a super cool trick, and I'm glad it worked on the Treehouse Platforms. So if you guys are watching, or if you guys aren't watching my ARK Let's Plays, make sure you check out those playlists and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you don't miss any future videos, and thumb up the video if you enjoyed it. I would greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you all later.